Mellor, you're a big horror movie fan, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
I am indeed.
I know you are. You're not. Do you like?
Love
I'm
the
not.
horror
I'm not a
flicks.
horror. You've got some oats on your nose. You're not a big horror movie fan, are you? Are you a horror movie fan? You watch them?
Like what do you consider? Like with the old school, like Friday the 13th?
Friday the 13th.
Saw. Oh.
You know what I mean? All those gruesome movies.
I saw the original Saw. Like I used to love Nightmare on Elm Street, but that was more of a comedy, right?
I don't think
It was scary but funny. Like it was scary but fun.
The first one absolutely was.
And then seeing those in the theater were great.
Actually, the first one was a little more gore.
Yeah, I was going to say this.
As the series progressed, Freddy Krueger became more of a...
And we got older and we understood the humor attached to it. I thought when I first saw it,
the first one definitely was a slasher flick.
Yeah.
But as that series went on, it became more tongue-in-cheek Freddy Krueger,
We were kids when Friday the 13th and Halloween first came out. And I remember they used to scare the hell out of me. And the music, the Halloween music, like in Jaws, that added to the thrill of it. That Halloween music in the background when something was about to happen.
Crazy. Yeah, it builds the suspense for sure. Any good horror movie has a good soundtrack to it, for sure.
The reason I ask, because there's a story that Pinocchio is getting a gruesome makeover as the beloved character stars in a grisly new horror movie.
What's he doing with that nose?
Storybook legend Pinocchio is in the public domain, and that means anyone can use the character without licensing or payment, and one horror director has taken him down a very dark path. Revealed by Bloody Disgusting, a poster for Pinocchio Unstrung shows the wooden puppet walking off frame with a trail of destruction in his wake.
Isn't that
hand
Chucky,
is covered
basically?
with blood and stabbed with a knife while Pinocchio's strings lay twisted and broken on the floor. Like, do you have any interest in watching that movie?
All that is a Chucky ripoff.
Do you like Chucky?
I wasn't a big fan of Chucky.
Child's Play for all those who might be a little
Children
younger.
of the Corn maybe was a little more of the original.
Hate all of those movies.
I will say I haven't had a chance to check it out, but I almost went to the theater by myself on Saturday night to see it. Longlegs is the newest horror movie that's out that is getting rave reviews.
Really?
What's it about?
I have deliberately not gone out of my way to read about it because I want to go in fresh. Longlegs. It stars Nicolas Cage.
What are you doing though, turning Pinocchio into a slasher film? I mean, I just think that's kind of, you don't have anything else creative that you can create. You got to tap into Pinocchio being a killer.
Yeah. What's next?
I mean,
which do
you want a couple more disturbing, or would you like to be lifted up? I don't really have anything to lift you up. Would you like disturbing?
Go ahead.
Would you like to continue the disturbing conversation?
If that's all you got.
An Austrian surgeon allegedly let his teenage daughter drill a hole in a patient's skull.
Your turn. Here, you take a try.
Following a forestry accident in January, a 33-year-old man was flown by air ambulance to the local hospital with a serious head injury, according to a newspaper. He needed emergency surgery, but the doctor allegedly let his 13-year-old daughter take part in operating on him.
Take your daughter to work day.
The newspaper reported that she even drilled a hole in the patient's skull.
What explanation did he give?
While the operation was said to have gone off without issue, the patient is still unable to work. An investigation by the local prosecutor is continuing.
Well, how could they say the surgery went off without a hitch if this person's not able to work?
Surgeon and one other employee, a specialist who was present during the operation, are said to have been let go by the hospital.
I do like these documentaries, like about Dr. Death and stuff. I don't like the acts, but remember there was of several of those documentaries of these surgeons who weren't real and were scamming people.
Yeah.
Those were big. I was watching about a year or two ago.
That one was kind of that was a very disturbing show. Yeah.
There was one down in like Texas or Louisiana, and then there was one overseas of a guy doing stuff.
Yeah. I'm just going to read you. This is a Los Angeles Times headline. If you're interested in the details, you can go pursue them yourself, okay? Man accused of decapitating his parents sang Tina Turner's song after being shot by deputies.
Yeah, I have zero interest in that.
Not even a little bit curious as to what transpired? All right, that's on
Which
you.
Tina Turner song was he singing?
Which one do you think? You choose. There's a cash prize if, in fact, you get the one right.
Does it say?
No. I'm saying that to you. What do you mean? No, they're not. The Los Angeles Times is not offering a cash prize if you get this correct. This is just my trivia.
You're simply the best.
Bang, bang! No.
Better than all the rest.
What's love got to do with it? And he started to sing it after he was shot by an Orange County sheriff.
Oh, so you did have the song?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
I was asking you the trivia question.
Oh.
I was going to give you a Connie's Pizza. But now I'm not giving you jack squat. Swiss scientists may have made a chocolate breakthrough.
What do you mean a breakthrough? What breakthrough is there to make with chocolate? Make it healthier and taste the same?
Imagine picking up a nice juicy apple, but instead of biting into it, you keep the seeds and throw the rest away. That's what chocolate producers have traditionally done with the cocoa fruit. Used the beans and disposed of the rest. But now food scientists in Switzerland have come up with a way to make chocolate using the entire cocoa fruit rather than just the beans and without using sugar.
Okay, now we're talking.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That you may now be able to feast on chocolate without feeling the effects.
Did you know how chocolate was made?
No clue.
Did you? I had no idea
I know
that
how somebody with like one of those nets that puts over their hair and a white, white outfit is stirring in a giant vat.
That's what I thought.
And then an assembly line comes buzzing through.
I had no idea there was a cocoa fruit and they just made it using the seeds. I had no idea.
Yeah. Cell phone bans spread in schools amid a growing mental health concern. I like this. I like that the thought of if you're going into school, you have to put your phone in your locker. And the only time you get to use your phone is if, in fact, you have a family emergency or something.
I found out, Glenbrook South, they have like a phones in the bucket, I think, when you walk in the classroom.
You guys have kids in school, not you, Tyler, but unless you've got something you need to tell us. But Meller's kids just went to high school for the first time.
What about for safety purposes, though?
That, Sylvie, I think is why the whole, like what Tyler just said, like a basket or a bucket, when they walk into class, some teachers will ask them to put them in the, so they still have access to it in the class in the event of an emergency, but they don't necessarily have it in the, on their person in their desk.
If there's an emergency, maybe the teacher could access their phone. But I'm just saying, I think if you can talk this thing through and find something that is amenable for all, I think that this would be very positive for young students.
I think the emergency thing, though, is more for like a personal, like a family emergency or something like that.
Not something school related.
Right.
Just saying, I thought it was a pretty good idea. Living in a tree-filled neighborhood may reduce the risk of heart disease. There's another study that you could probably, you could come to me and say, make random statements.
Yes.
We're not going to give you any money for a study, and I can make some of the same statements.
I would have not had to put any research into that and could have guessed that.
I think you know what? I think we should start a company. Okay?
Called Dumb Search.
That's one of them. Research without work. Take the dumb part out of it. We may struggle to find investors with the word dumb attached to our search company, but let's create some research at the University of Tyler has come to the conclusion that smiling makes you happy. There's some dumb studies.
Right. Like search no more. We take the search out of research.
There you go. They're waiting out. You better run at the break. You better run and try to call a copyright lawyer or something.
People come to us with wanting conclusions. Give me another one.
Drinking 14 beers in 30 minutes is probably not good for your health.
You have to ask me the question, though. Yeah, and then I'll tell you my study. What my study reveals.
Is binge drinking bad for you?
After no search whatsoever, binge drinking is bad for you. I would recommend, after no hours putting into any sort of laboratory, that you drink within common sense.
Okay. Knives are sharp. Are knives sharp?
Depends on the type of knife and how old the knife is, but usually knives are sharp and they should only be utilized in a cutting situation and should not be used in any form of playtime.
Yeah, I mean, I thought your first research project was better than your last one.
Well, I think keep away from children under the age of 12.
Yeah. Hey, did you see this story? I'm sure you did, and probably, get yelled at for reading it, but it's part of the Associated Press, and it's on ESPN.com. Woman shot at the White Sox game sues the team and the stadium authority.
This is a brilliant move by her. It's brilliant because
a woman who was shot in the leg during a Chicago White Sox game last year is suing the team and the Illinois agency that owns Guaranteed Rate Field.
Like, if the Sox are going to drag their feet and say that no one got the gun in and it came from the outside, she might as well play the victim, even though she knows she probably did allegedly bring the gun in herself or her friend did, hiding it in the folds of her belly. So, hey, the only mistake that I would have, again, taking the search out of research, I would have sued for more than $50,000.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you. Were you surprised at the number?
Yes.
Because she's seeking more than $50,000 in damages, personal injuries, and losses. I would think the nature of having this happen.
Yes.
Let's follow along inside the confines of a multi-billion-dollar entity.
Yes.
That all you're looking for is 50 G's.
That's what shocked me. This is like Kramer settling for just all you can drink coffee. I'm surprised she didn't want like a season ticket package. How could she only sue if they're going to play this game? Oh, the bullets came from the outside.
I hope you're joking about the season ticket package. I was talking more of like millions of dollars, not $50,000 and 2 seats on the third base line.
No, she should have sued for over $1 million. Of course,
I'm in excess of that.
That's why I was surprised. Like Kramer, there was a Seinfeld where Kramer settled, could not. He was about to cash in with Jackie Childs, and he settled for a coffee a day for the rest of his life after getting burnt by coffee.
I'm just surprised.
This is what she's doing.
I'm just surprised by the details. This is no editorial. I'm just surprised by the details.
Who is advising her?
I don't know. No, I do know. She's being advised by John J. Malm. That's the plaintiff's attorney. By the way, did you know that your Cubs last night stole 8 bases and had 21 hits?
They're back.
I was begging.
That's what Cap's telling me. They're back.
I was begging for them. Why was Michael Tauchman like using his Hawkeye, like taking a walk? Just swing. All I wanted was the game to be over. And with an 18-8 lead, Tauchman's taking 4 balls and walking to first and forcing in another run.
I didn't care at that point. You were quite on edge over that.
I was just wondering why they weren't swinging. Were you watching the game, Tyler?
Yeah, I was.
Were you wondering the same thing?
Wisdom took a walk too.
Yeah,
Not at all, though. Wait.
He got hit.
Dude.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He got hit. But wasn't it like a 3-ball count, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, and Rowdy Tellez was on the mound at one point, right? Like, again.
Throwing 50-mile-an-hour cutters.
No, but see, that's when the savvy vets know you pad your stats. Because arbitration.
Unless Tony LaRusse is managing, then you can't pad your stats.
But my point is they were looking at baseballs that were thrown a couple inches off the plate.
I know, but on base percentage.
Oh,
I know what you're saying, but I'm dead serious.
I think Meller's right.
I get it, but you'd be better off putting 130 seats, 30 rows back.
No, you can't do that. Remember, Mercedes got in trouble.
Oh, stop it.
By the way, I saw, too, on Marquee when Rowdy was pitching, they listed something at 44 miles an hour as a slider. Was it really a slider?
Don't know.
Did you see
knuckle curve? And by the way, there was a strike that was called that was 3.5 feet outside the zone.
It was the first pitch that he saw.
Well, the umpires got it right. They just wanted the game over.
Yeah.
Tauchman's sitting there with the eagle eye. No, that one's 2 inches out. You're right. It's the difference between Talkman getting $3 million a year and $30 million a year. The on-base percentage. Just swing the
He
effing
could
bat.
have a bonus if he hits a certain on-base percentage.
Don't you think if he drives one to the gap, he's also going to be
No, but that
on
could be
base?
a fly out. That's the
if you
problem.
get under it or a guy makes a play out
there. It is
there.
even harder to drive sometimes those 44 mile per hour out the
Or the umpire who wants to get his steak dinner in at the local steak joint may be calling strikes on you as well.
But did
when
he
the
draw
ball's
the
not in
walk?
air.
Did he draw the walk?
He did, because Rowdy Tellez couldn't find the plate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he's not a pitcher.
Something you thought you'd be talking about today.
Rowdy
Tellez
He's
couldn't
not
find the plate.
Yeah.
He's not a pitcher. He's a big belly itcher is what
Well,
he is.
he could find the plate on the dinner table, that's for sure.
Wow. All right. That's nice of you to say. That note, we're going to take a break, and we're going to try to find a way for you to be a little bit nicer when we come back. Did you see the 8-figure deal? Excuse me, the 9-figure deal that the Kelce brothers signed? Podcast deal?
Over $100
$100 million.
So this is going to be distributed. Is this Amazon? Did I read that right?
Yes.
And they're going
New
to.
Heights is the name of it.
Yeah, so they're going to have all the rights to the past episodes too.
Yeah.
And that
Do
this
you think this is?
I was just going to say
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
This is Taylor Swift, which is, fine. Too good for all of them.
Well, it would not have blown up without, and this was the place where, credit to him, credit to Travis, where he was willing to share a lot of the stuff, how he courted her,
Yeah.
how he at first couldn't get her number, and Jason's super hilarious, and he's going to be on ESPN now. It is very good. They talk about pop culture stuff, football, and everything else.
I always thought that when he was done, Gronk may venture into the world of acting. I feel the same way about this guy.
I think there's more here, though, than with what. You think Gronk's more of a one-trick pony?
Yeah, I think that Travis Kelce has a chance to make the leap from the NFL to Hollywood more smoothly than Gronk.
And I think his brother, again, Jason, brings out more with Travis. Having Jason there brings stuff out of Travis. I don't know if Travis could do this on his own.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good point. By the way, the Astros have agreed to a deal with your guy, Jason Hayward. Our guy. Yeah, consider him our guy.
Jay Hay. It was
like Jay Hay.
I believe Jay Hay's last hit was that big home run in the 8th inning for the Dodgers, and then he got DFA'd.
Something like that.
But now he's on Houston, and Hector Neris is there too?
Yes. Hector was throwing that ball last night. I don't know how well he threw it. And by the way, did Mike McDaniel go to the same stylist as Coach Eberflus?
Is another makeover there?
Yeah. I saw somebody tweet that the other day. It's like, what did it take 2 years in Miami? And this is what
right.
It looked fantastic. And Shay, stop beating up on Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. Okay? It's just a quick request. That's all I'm saying. I got to watch the Connor Stallion special. I haven't seen it yet.
It just dropped today on Netflix.
I'm going to watch that.